Hello and welcome to the Magic the Blabbering podcast. I'm your host, Nick, with Josh, and today we're going to be going over all things related to the Tarkir pre-release and our experiences. We're going to be talking about a little bit of more Secret Lair and a little bit of spoilerage, not going too deep, but we're going to go into some Final Fantasy talk. Josh,
Yep.
how was your Tarkir pre-release?
It was pretty good. So I had a super busy weekend. Friday, I had the launch party for our Dungeons and Dragons pinball. So I did an unboxing video over on YouTube if you haven't seen it, and we got the LE, which is like the top of the line like pinball machine for Stern, and yeah, so I unboxed it last Sunday, did a video, put that video out, and then Friday we had our launch party, so we had a tournament. I finished sixth or seventh, I think, and gave away a bunch of prizes and stuff. So that was my Friday night. So I didn't get to pre-release Friday, and then
Oh,
Saturday we went to see AWOL Nation in concert that night, Saturday
oh
night.
wow.
So and we went to see the Minecraft movie on Saturday afternoon. So Saturday was full. Didn't get to pre-release on Saturday, and so finally Sunday we got around to getting into a pre-release. I was going to go at noon, but it was sold out. Like most places seem to be selling out of the pre-releases all weekend, which is really good for Magic overall. But I did get into a two-headed giant one at 5 o'clock, and everybody in the event got pre-release kits except for two people. They ran out of pre-release kits, so they got to
Oh,
open.
geez.
Yeah, they got to open 12 packs. But so I was there with my son, and we both picked Mardu pre-release kits and built decks. And he built an Abzan deck. I built a Mardu deck. He was pretty much the removal, and I was the aggro. So yeah, it was pretty fun. I built a pretty sweet Mardu deck. Lots of tokens. There's a blood artist guy. So
Yeah, yeah.
whenever a creature dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So since it's two-headed giant, there's two opponents. So it was 2 damage for every creature that died. So
Ooh, nice.
yeah. So one of the games ended with I had two. They were at 7. I had two creatures on board, and I had a way to make 2 tokens. And my son had a board wipe, so we just
Ah,
I made 2 creatures. He board wiped and took him down to dead. So that was pretty
nice.
fun. But we lost the first game, and then pretty handily won the next 2 games. I did open Ugin, which I don't know if you saw over on my Instagram or Blue Sky. Opened Ugin, very off-centered Ugin there,
Ooh.
and it's got a. If you look, you probably can't see on the screen here, but if you look at where it says "I," the ink is smudged. And I know that they had a lot of print problems with this set, especially the mythics. I think so. Um, that's the
What
only
when
one.
was that word on the street? Is there's a lot of printing problems?
Yeah, so there was a big store in I think in Japan that opened a bunch of product, and it just had like ink streaks down like half the
Ooh.
cards. They said 50% of their mythics were damaged and were like
Oh,
unsellable, and Wizards was just like, sorry about that. So
oh, wow, that's news. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah, a lot of ink errors. But this one is very very off centered. So and it has ink error and off centered. So yeah,
Oh wow. So weird. Weird to hear that. We haven't heard of really. I haven't heard a lot about quality issues in a long time. We've
yeah.
really had a quality up. I think it was Dominaria One is when they did that kind of come back to the fold. This was like around Amonkhet and Kaladesh One. They definitely had a lot of problems coming into those, and then they kind of streamlined it out. And in modern era, other than like pringling of foils, I think things have been pretty good. But
Yeah,
that's sad to hear that on such a good set we have that. But it's only a little bit. I mean, that Ugin looks fine. It's just a little, you
it
know,
makes it makes me feel
filtered.
better. Makes me feel better throwing it in a deck and shuffling it up.
Yeah, definitely. It can take some damage.
Yeah,
Well,
but like
cool.
all the product I opened from being an ambassador, I opened play booster box, a bundle, collector booster box, 2 pre-release kits, 2 commander decks. No printing errors on any of those. So I did see it was interesting too. I opened our pre-release kits, and you get a seeded pack. So if you choose your clan, we chose Mardu, and so it comes with a pack with your promo card, and then 14 cards that are in your clan's colors. And all the pre-release kits I opened up were just clear cellophane on those packs. And then I saw some people opening it online, and they had like special cool like packaging for
Oh,
yeah. So it had like it had the narrative on the pack. It said like pre-release pack, clan Mardu or whatever. Yeah. So
but not all of them were like that. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Not all of them were like that. So we
A lot of stuff going weird behind the scenes, sounds
yeah
like.
we won 8 packs. Between
Nice.
between the two of us. I haven't cracked them yet. We'll play with those at some point. So Yeah,
As you should.
you should play with your packs always.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, Friday before I ran out to my pinball tournament, I opened my play booster box here for that I got as being an ambassador, which I'll be releasing that video pretty soon because I'm going to try to do a boxing league where you open up a box of a set and you just make a commander deck out of all the cards you get there. So I've got 5 or 6 commanders to choose from. Didn't get anything crazy. I did get a Ugin out of that box too, so I've got 2 Ugins now. And
Nice.
I finally opened this card.
Ooh,
Finally opened my
100
freebie
battle veteran.
card. Yeah, after all of that, I got one out of my play booster box, and my son opened one at the pre-release. So I'm still looking for a foil one.
Yeah, I got to
Cards.
have that first
Yeah,
preview card.
of course. Yeah,
It's a sweet looking card.
yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah,
card.
so
Yeah.
I don't think he ended up playing that, but because we didn't have enough counters, like different types of counters, he had a bunch of 1/1
Mhm.
counters, but so that was Friday. Yeah, I opened the box, did the pinball, and then Saturday was Minecraft and AWOL Nation. And if you know AWOL Nation, any of their stuff, so they have a song called Nights of Shame. It's 15 minutes long, and they performed the whole thing. It was pretty cool. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
Sunday was pre-release. So
that's a banner weekend, man. Can't
yeah, it
beat
was.
that. All your
Yeah,
favorite things in one.
yeah. Then today I got to sit here for 4 hours waiting for the Xfinity guy to get our cell phones switched over. And so
Seems like
yeah,
the life had to balance out there. It's like you're having a little too
yeah,
much fun.
yeah. So and it's still not done
Cool.
yet. So
Good, good. Well, like I said, it's trying to balance you out, okay?
yeah. So I didn't get
Well,
Jack.
cool.
I didn't get Jack done today, but
Any notable? I liked the thing you said about your comboing out with the black blood artist creature. Any
yeah,
other notable
I
cards you
got two.
saw?
I opened 2 of those actually, so those are good.
Oh wow.
There's a there's this insect. So these are specifically good for two-headed giant. So we got a skirmish rhino. That was actually really good.
Yeah.
Um, this
Does it say
card,
each opponent?
yes, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So
Ooh, so nug them for
for
4.
4, yeah. And then we've got the Delta Blood Flies. Yeah, whenever this creature attacks, if you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1 life. So
Oh,
we
so
had
2.
so hitting opponents for 2 with that, opponents for 4 with the Siege Rhino, then
Wow.
the blood artist guy hitting them for 2 every time a creature died. So yeah, you get mobilized with that, and you're having 2 or 3 creatures die per turn. It's
Oof.
hard to come
Wow,
back from
I
that.
don't
But
I don't play a two-headed giant often, so I don't really think about that. But then when I'm hearing about it, I'm
yeah,
like, whoa, because they get 30 life and it's a one-game match, so you're just stacking
yeah,
up extra damage.
yeah. So
Wow, that's really cool.
yeah, so it's 30 life, and then it's 2v2. Each take your turns at the same time. You share a life total. You can't share creatures or mana, so you're on your own there. And then, but you do like attack and do all that at the same time. So, but for
Because
the car,
they attack either of you with their creatures.
yeah,
They don't. So like, let's say both your opponents attack. Do you choose to block, but your guys can't gang block, or does it
no,
like?
your guy, your team can block however you want. But
Okay,
just for rule's sake, they have to attack. Each creature has to attack a certain player in case there's some rules that say, something happens when with each opponent or something. So
okay. So I attack your team, but I attack you, Josh, with a 4/4.
yeah,
You and your son can both block with 2/2/2s and kill the 4/4.
correct. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Cool. Cool.
yeah.
That's
And
pretty cool.
so the cards that say each opponent, you have 2 opponents technically, but they share a life
Yeah.
total. So that's why it doubles up. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You got to look for cards like that whenever you're building your decks for two-headed giants.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
You do that oomph. Gray Merchant you for double. I don't know if that one does, but I would
Yeah.
imagine. Oof.
Yeah,
Don't
was
play Theros one two-headed giant. Oh,
it was pretty fun though. We were debating like, do we pick the same clans? Like, do we go 2 Mardu pre-release kits, or do we pick opposites so we can kind of make opposite decks, and share cards between both? We I was thinking about doing Mardu and Abzan because they share 2 colors and we could kind of go there, which is what we ended up building out of the 2 Mardu decks. But and so
yeah, you
interesting.
both double Mardude, but got extra from Abzan instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he got all my green cards, and then we shared the black and white, and I got all the red cards. So
Very cool. I love that. So it sounds
um,
like a blast of an experience. Yours,
yeah,
yeah. From mine, I actually didn't get to go to pre-release this weekend, but my group chats for Magic were popping off. Like people who have not played Magic in, I don't know, maybe since the last Tarkir were suddenly back. They were back
yeah,
and forth. So I'll get a party together and go to the pre-release. Oh, guess what? And I heard today, people were like, or yesterday, they're like, that was so much fun. We're going to the release next weekend. And I haven't heard that side of enthusiasm. I haven't even seen some of
Yeah.
these people play Magic in years. So obviously, Tarkir is hitting that, scratching that itch for those people
Yeah.
who remember playing
Yeah.
Siege Rhino back in the day, Mana Strider, cool stuff like that. So very
Ankle
happy to
Shanker.
hear that.
Don't forget
Yeah,
Ankle
Ankle Shanker.
Shanker.
Oh my gosh, there's so many cool cards from that set.
Yeah.
Uh, so much nostalgia. So just cool to see people just getting back into it. People, oh, I got Mana Flood. Oh, I got Mana Screen. Oh, I placed against an Ugin that exiled 3 of my permanents. Like, oh,
Yeah.
all
So
the good beats, bad beats. I got Crater Hoofed in limited twice. Like, oh, like, oof.
Yeah, I got to play the Ugin once, and we died the next turn.
Oh,
We were so far behind. Yeah, that was the first game we played. It was pretty bad. It was pretty one sided. I mulliganed down to 6. And I should have kept the first hand. It was pretty good. I had uh, turn 1 play, turn 2 play, a few turn 3 plays, and 2 lands, and I was just like,
hmm.
I couldn't do it, and I should have.
Yeah.
I ended up keeping a 2 land 6 card hand that was worse. So, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
I
So.
had some people like having some stories of like sick busts, like people open like Elspeth or Ugin.
Yeah.
I heard we had some people locally trying to open, like somebody opened a foil or a Mox Jasper, like with the cool dragon art.
Yeah.
Not the super rare one,
The
but
cereal one.
one of the rare ones. Yeah. We had a lot of cool opens. There's some of my friends were speculating on cards because they're like, ooh, which card's good or what's gonna, not like speculating for buying, well, a little bit. Because one of my buddies is really budgety, so he pulled up a card. Let me see if I can remember what it's called. It's a green artifact from Cons, and it
Oh.
says it taps for a green only if you only to add for creatures, or only you can only use it to cast or it taps for any color, but only can cast creatures, and then you can tap it. And yes, the heirloom, the
Herd
herd
heirloom.
heirloom. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast for 1 mana of any color. Spend this only to cast creature spells. And then it's like tap target creature with power 4 or greater gains trample until end of turn. And if it hits the player, you draw a card.
Yep.
So
And
speculating on how good that card is.
it costs 2. Yeah. 1 in a green.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son
Yeah,
opened
it's
it,
pretty
and
good.
my son opened it. And he's like, "Is this card any good?" I was like, "Play that card."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and limited for sure.
Yeah.
They were talking about like for commander, and we were like, we'd had some good hemming and hawing. And you're like, oh, I don't know, this is great if you have like a ton of dudes, but then like you can't cast your other things, and it's like, well, and then funny enough, I literally have this conversation. I go, is it better than the lore card that you just added to your deck that I recommended last time? What's it called? The page counter thing.
Oh yeah.
I was like, is it better than Tome of
Tome of
Legends?
Legends. Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't think it is. So then once we had that part of the discussion, it was kind of like, I was like, well, if you think it's going to be expensive, Tome of Legends is 50 cents. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but pretty cool card.
Yeah.
It's fun to see cards that shake it up,
While I was at the shop, I did get the rest of the cards that I needed for the Mardu
Boom.
deck. Yeah, for the Mardu deck I'm piloting on Benji the Brewer stream. So our last podcast was kind of different. We talked about upgrading the Mardu commander deck, and so I didn't have a few of the cards. I don't have the 40k card. They were out of that. I don't have it. So,
Oh,
yeah, so we'll throw in something else. I added the deck list to the video description too, with all the stuff we took out and the new stuff. So yeah,
good.
so excited about
Yeah,
that.
hopefully, you can go get a classic. You can get the old Crescendo of War from the first commander decks. That card was always fun. But
Yeah,
yeah, so it just all good vibes for Magic this weekend. A lot of
yeah,
fun stuff. People are already planning on their Commander games next week. Their release events.
yeah.
Just a lot of hype. A lot of people building decks.
Besides the like printing errors, like I heard stores were super happy. Like a couple of the stores around town here posted like on their Facebook, like, "Hey, thanks for coming out. We totally sold out of everything this weekend. It was a great weekend for Magic." So yeah, I was
Yeah,
super happy with the response from everything. It's
yeah, and the people who couldn't get in, it sounded like for every place that it was like that was very minimal. Or they would have their first night and they're like, oh well, guess there's not going to be tomorrow, but we had a good day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't think too many people missed out, but definitely a good appetite for a Magic IP set. Like I
yeah.
really am happy to see that.
Hats off to Wizards.
They did it. They really came back to cons and they hit it out of the park for everybody. I'm just so happy. I've been seeing reels and stuff of like cool like openings, games, and I'm loving it. I'm loving to see the joy for Tarkir, Magic IP. And we might have to wait till like what next year till we get another in Magic IP.
No, we
But
got Edge of Eternities.
yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's a new plane, but it's Magic IP, so
It is Magic IP. It just feels weird because it's space.
it's gonna have
You know.
Tezzeret. It's gonna have Tezzeret.
We'll
Maybe
see. We'll see.
Nicol Bolas, maybe Jace. I don't know. So
turns up nose.
I
We'll
mean,
see. So
we'll hopefully Lorwyn's not pushed back again.
Lorwyn's around the corner, so
Yeah.
just wait till then. But yeah, no, but very like iconic match. I guess nostalgia bomb. This is the last nostalgia bomb of the year.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I'm excited to play this on Arena. It's we're recording this on Monday. It's going to come out to Arena tomorrow. So by the time you listen to this, it'll already be on Arena. But yeah, happy to get some decks brewing with the new stuff and for standard, and maybe go to play some in-person paper standard. Never know.
yeah, you're gonna have to backseat Arena, Josh. Be like, what are you doing? What is the what? I don't even play this format. Don't get what? Don't draft that card. Like Josh would be like, I want this one. No, no, no. I've already been. Yeah, that's actually a thing too. I really love limited, and this set I've already been watching like as much limited content as has been out. I know they had a few early games. Like I already watched LSV
Yeah.
do a draft of it. I was like, oh, this format's kind of cool. There's some bombs. There's some serious bombs in this set, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So being an ambassador, we were supposed to get early access to the Arena stream, but like 2 weeks ago, the social media manager of Wizards moved on to a different role and kind of like left us kind of twisted in the
Oh,
wind a little bit. So
oh no.
yeah, so we didn't really have like a contact at Wizards to get us set up with all that. So missed out on the Arena stream. But I mean, I'm happy happy
Well,
for what
Edge of
happens.
Eternities is coming. Final Fantasy is coming. We could be a brand
Yeah.
ambassador again. It's not
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job being the Mardu
So
clan.
so going back to
Rar.
that, I don't think the
Wings of the
ambassadorship.
Dragon.
I don't think ambassadorship is. I think what it says on the website is only for Magic IP sets.
Oh, right,
So
right. Edge of
yeah,
Eternities is coming.
Lorwyn. We're crossing our fingers for Lorwyn. I really want.
Lorwyn,
Yeah,
Lorwyn.
yeah. Super excited for that. So yeah, hopefully that. But yeah. So yeah. So didn't get the Arena early access, but I'll be on there soon and brewing some stuff up.
And just so you know, Josh keeps saying Lorwyn, but really I'm like Shadowmoor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
In my heart, I'm just like Shadowmoor. I just want a lot of flip cards. I want a lot of like, look at Happy Kithkin. It's the devil. Like on the
Oh,
back.
yeah.
It's a villain on the back.
Like maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get Lorwyn and Shadowmer all at the all at once, and then they'll have flip day and night or
I would
whatever.
be so excited for that. I'd be like,
Yeah,
day and night, do whatever you need. Just flip cards all over the place. Like I want like
yeah,
Doran during the day, Doran during the night.
yeah,
That's what I feel like they made that technology back then, and it was like a lot of work. Then we're gonna have a couple years of learning, and then it's like, okay, we figured it out with the best.
yeah.
And not to mention they're gonna hit us up with the commands and stuff. Sorry, I don't want to go on a Lorwyn tangent, but you know what I mean? So
Well, let's go
yeah.
even further off tangent. I was looking at cards today, and did you know Painter Servant's like $70?
Oh really?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
50 for a while, but now it's up to 70. I still have a bunch. Somebody want to buy
yeah.
them off of me?
I do too. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a just random artifact from Shadowmoor. I mean, it's pretty powerful, and it's been banned at least
Yep.
once, right? And then they
It was banned in
unbanned it,
Commander
and
for a
then
time, yeah.
yeah. So it changes the color of cards in all zones, basically. Yeah,
Yep.
$70, and I played that in standard because there was a card that I played it in my mono red deck. So there was a card, I forget what it was called, but
Chaotic
uh,
Backlash.
Chaotic Backlash, yeah. So it deals damage equal to the number of blue or white permanents a player controls to that controller. And
Yep.
so I'd play Painter Servant and then play Chaotic Backlash. So all their lands were white or blue. Every permanent they had was white or blue, and just nug them. Yeah,
Dug
it
them
was
for
pretty fun.
10 or 12 or more, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing back then. It was so cool. There's so many
Yeah.
little like silly like little gimmick strategies. Like you had your main decks, but they were just decks doing something else. Like you remember Countryside Crusher? You
Yeah.
remember that card?
Yep.
It's just like I lost in that deck. I played Kitkin, and then the guy's just like Countryside Crusher, Tim Gillihan, Countryside Crusher. I'm like, okay. Attack. Like he's like my deck has like like 8 cards in it. And then he's like, okay, mill. It's like 20, and he's like reveal Soul's Fire. I'm like, what the? Deal you 20. What? I died? It's just like little like
Uh,
nuggets of gameplay that you're just like,
yeah.
oh, okay. Swans of Bryn Argyle. There were so many cool
Yep.
decks
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Swans Assault. Oh, beautiful format. One of the best formats of all time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So
I can't get enough of that. Can't get enough looking to Lorwyn Times coming back. See if we can recapture that
yeah.
spirit.
First we got to go to Final Fantasy though, and we got
Yeah.
some leaks from Final Fantasy. So, do you know the whole story how that happened, Nick?
No, I do
So,
not.
what I've read is this distributor in Brazil got shipped a bunch of Final Fantasy starter kits. So those are the ones that come with 2 decks, and then they
The one with Cloud and Sephiroth that have
so
already been spoiled
so
normally.
they somehow made their way out to some LGSs or something. Anyways, somebody opened one of them and posted all the contents online, which not cool. Getting leaking stuff like that. Speaking from personal experience, like if somebody had leaked my preview card, I'd be upset. Um, so I know people want to see the new cards and they're really excited about it, but we're not going to talk about the specifics on cards here. But I did see, so we got to see all the lands, which they're all full art lands, and it looks like there's 15 of them. So I don't know if they're going to have like a special land. Normally they do 20. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 20 for a set. We'll see if they have a special fourth a land that they haven't released yet, because we got the ones from Tarkir, we got the two regular, then we got the one full art Dragon
Dragon
Springs,
Eye.
and then they had the Dragon's Eye, which were the super special ones. So maybe they're going to do something like that for Final Fantasy and put special lands in the collector's boosters. I don't know what they would be, but we got to see those. So I'm happy about adding those to my land binder. We saw one of the new mechanics. It's kind of like a living weapon, where I
Yeah.
think it's called Choose a Job. There was a card that like gave something minus 9,999 toughness. Yeah. So they're all in Portuguese because they released it down in Brazil. But if you want to go find them, they're around on the internet. We're not going to talk about specifics today, but just it happened, and kind of weird that it happened. I mean, we only are like what 2 months away
Yeah.
from Final Fantasy, and
Yeah.
Tarkir. We just had the Tarkir pre-release this last weekend, so
I mean, people get eager. People are wanting to, I'm sure, you know, everyone just acts like it's just some guy who wants to look at some cards early. But,
yeah,
people are putting a lot of money into these products and they're probably trying to hedge their bets. They're like, hey, if you can get somebody to like leak some cards, I can at least know my investment's a little bit more safe. I'm going to spend more
yeah,
money on this. If I
yeah,
see a bunch of crap, maybe I won't. And
yeah,
now that's here nor there. I mean, you open some pre-release, some little decks. Most people have already pre-ordered, locked in their cheapest price. Maybe people are trying to see if they can get a glimpse of like some mythic that they're like, oh my goodness, some one ring type card that
yeah,
just ensures their investment. But there's a lot of moving parts. People really do stuff to kind of find an edge in the thing. So I'm not
yeah,
surprised that that happens all the time. But it's not great for people like content creators who really are trying to do the best with what they got. And when you get a preview card and you get it stolen out from under you, it's kind of a kick in the
yeah,
shorts. I'm hoping that didn't happen to anybody. I hope there's still enough time to make sure Wizards can allocate things correctly. But time will
yeah,
tell.
yeah. And I mean,
So
Wizards has their own like release, schedule too, where they kind of tease stuff, and they have their big stream where they show a lot of the big flashy things. So
yeah.
what was the last set that got? What was that last set that got leaked in? They sent the pick your tents to that guy's house to take the
Oh my
cards
goodness,
probably.
wasn't that like all that will be one or
I think
something? That
so.
was a
Yeah.
while ago. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah, that
then
was crazy.
there's been there's
That's
been
not the right response, by the way. That is not the right. That is not
yeah.
the right response from Wizards to take. We are not asking for that either.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like let the courts take care of what they're gonna do or whatever.
Yeah. We've always had leaks. I think what was it, New Phyrexia? I think there was a PDF that of all the whole
Yeah,
set that got
the
leaked.
God Book got released for New
Yeah.
Phyrexia like well before. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I was hyped. That set was real good.
Yeah, that
That
was.
was really
I mean,
cool.
that was way before you had all this social media and all this stuff. Um, getting cards released and stuff. But yeah, I remember that was a big deal, because I think that was the time where like nobody outside of Wizards was looking at these cards before release date. Whereas now you have a group of people to kind of hype up the set.
Well, actually, no. So that was kind of a thing. If you go back in the annals, this is just something I remember from all the way back then. So certain magazines and stuff would get like
Mhm.
cards and god books ahead of time. So it's very select few. So definitely not as much probably as there are now. But the they actually, I think it was the French magazine that had access to it and like leaked it on accident.
Mhm.
And they also found out that I think I don't want to slander anybody, so I'm just going to say I allegedly there were a couple of pro players who were getting
Yeah,
access to the God Book, which I'm sure happened more than just there.
yeah.
But you got access to the God Book, so you could practice for the Pro Tour
Hmm.
and advance because you had months more practice or whatever. So kind
Yeah.
of interesting
Yeah,
to hear about that.
I was gonna bring that up. There was a lot of controversy around that whole thing, because there was people getting information ahead of time, and they were able to invest in certain cards if they saw cards that were going to be combo pieces ahead of time, and then practicing for tournaments ahead of time with these leaked cards. So yeah.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of the mystique or what's going on behind the scenes with Magic. There's a lot of opportunity to, if I'm printing the cards, if I print a card that makes another card go like be an amazing card, and I buy them on the secondary market before that happens, who knows? If I, yeah, I want to liquidate some inventory, there's a lot that could be going on there. I'm not going to say anyone's doing anything, but people love to speculate. So
Yeah, I mean, all us ambassadors got card images all ahead of time. There's less than 50 of us total. I'm not smart enough to figure out, what cards are going to impact what. And like, I mean, I looked through all the cards and I was still at the pre-release, like, hold on, this card exists. What does this card do? So I'm sure that.
Josh, we just haven't unleashed on the world the combo that is with the 100 battle veteran.
Yeah.
Once we let it out and everyone realizes we got Tarmogoyf for our preview card, it's over.
So
I'm trying to
yeah.
collect as many as I can right now. I got a stack right here on my desk, right here.
So
Just kidding. This is one of those cycling dudes I like.
So yeah, so speaking of things on the internet, we saw a Deadpool secret layer, and we got some cards from that too that I've seen so far. I think that might be it. We got
Yes, sir.
Blacker Lotus seems to be the one that's most rare,
And Harmless Offering.
and Harmless Offering, which is cool. Has a little, was it Jeff the Shark on there, and he's parts of the frame
Yeah.
have like bites taken out of it.
What is he from? I know he's in like the Marvel game. I've never even heard of that character.
Yeah, maybe it's the comic books, or yeah, I don't know. Definitely is not the
Yeah.
movies. So, um,
Yeah, he's a cute little baby. I like him, but
yeah,
he's like I've seen him a lot nowadays. I mean, I like Baby Shark over here. But
Yeah. So
cool card.
we got that. The Blacker Lotus is pretty cool. And then
Yeah, that card hasn't been reprinted in a while.
has it ever been reprinted? I mean,
No,
it's from was it un?
it's from the Unglued, the original line.
Oh, is it from
And it's
Unglued?
yep,
Okay.
it's from Unglued. And it had an oversized card at some point. The Unglued one's about $20, and the new one doesn't have a price. I'm sure it's very expensive. I like the way they did it though. I'm really into the style of just sharpieing over a
Yeah.
Black Lotus. It's kind of
Yeah.
wild. So back in the day, they used to talk about, when Magic players didn't know anything and you just proxy on extra cards, like people proxying on like Lion's Eye Diamonds or like Hypnotic Specters. Because at a time when they reprinted Hypnotic Spectre, it was like $20. And wild to think about, right?
Well,
I'm sure if you're listening to this, like, why was that card ever good? But people use that as a proxy too.
I've got an embarrassing story for you.
Oh God.
So yeah, so I used to have a bunch of foreign cards,
Oh, God.
like old border foreign cards, and
Yeah.
yeah, I made a bunch of proxies on the foreign cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything particularly noteworthy in that pile of cards?
I don't know because I can't find them, and I'm hoping I never find them because as far as I know, they're all just bulk commons.
Yeah.
I do have a foreign Survival of the Fittest that made it out unscathed, so there's that. What's the one from? I think it's Visions that has like the leopard on it.
Oh, Natural Order.
Natural Order, yeah, one of those. I still have that, so that's just to give you a like. I don't know what I ruined.
Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh,
I couldn't read
maybe.
them. I couldn't read them.
What could this card possibly do? This card is so bad.
This was like before the internet existed too. I couldn't just like go look stuff up. So
yeah. Well, I never destroy my cards, but I have a bad habit of like. You remember the Shuko incident with Nadio? It's like, ooh, Shuko is a value card. So I spent the time, pulled them out. I had a couple. They were in my box of cards to get rid of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got them in time. Then I go to try and trade them in. I'm slow on the uptake, so like then the store's like, I already got plenty. I'll give you less for them. Also, they're played. I'm like, they are not that played. So I'm like, then I'm gonna keep them. And let's see how much Shuko is right now. Shuko,
74 cents.
$2. Yeah. Okay. The list one's $1. So I get my $30 out of the ones I could have got because I'm just slow, Like you just told me Painter Servant $70.
Yeah.
Great time for me to liquidate my Painter Servant before next year. I will not. It's not going to happen. But if it did,
you think it's going to be reprinted?
It's a notable card of value from Lorwyn block, so I would assume they'll use that.
Maybe like a social guest. I could see that.
I mean, they printed it in Avishkar 1, so
they did. Oh, was it?
Yeah,
it was one of the inventions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an invention.
I think there's a Judge promo too.
Yeah, the card is so good, by the way. If people don't know, it's because of Grindstone. It says it's a one colorless artifact. It says pay 2 tap. Target player mills 2 cards. If they share a color, you repeat the process. So if you have that in Painter Servant, you can just mill somebody out. If you in Legacy, you can just go turn 1 Ancient Tomb, Painter Servant, turn 2 Grindstone, win the game with a mana with a regular land. I think
Yeah.
you can do it in another order. It used to be a really powerful combo deck. I'm sure it still is. Yeah. So just it's fun to know.
Yeah.
Also, that was a really controversial unban from Commander, in my opinion, because we had until those last few bans, which I guess we just don't have uncontroversial bans in Commander. But I just was like, why are we going? That's when they banned Iona, and they were like, because it's unfun, like not unbeatable, unfun. And then they're like, but we'll reintroduce Painter Servant because it's fun. And I'm like, you just brought in a colorless 2-card combo into the format.
Yeah.
Not that anyone is doing it. There's a better one. You might know of it. Boss's Oracle, Demonic Consultation.
Yeah.
But this is in colorless. So any deck can just Painter Stone, Grindstone you on turn 2 if they want, or 1.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying people should do that. I think they're kind of price capped out because Painter Servant's $1 million. But just the logic. I'm like,
yeah.
you lost me because I want to play the cool big angel that sometimes shuts somebody off a little bit. I'm probably not gonna. I mean, I did actually. I had a color change deck at the time. They unbanned Painter Servant. I was like, sick. I can play it. I put it in my deck. I realized it didn't work. Like all my swords, I realized it when I put it in. You try to, so you're like, oh, my swords give me protection from red. Then you play the freaking guy, but all your creatures are red. So you can't equip them because they're protection from red. Yeah. You can't even, if they were on, they fall off, and if you want to equip them, you can't. Yeah. So I was like, it doesn't even work with swords. It doesn't work with swords. It works with like a handful of like hate cards, like Chaotic Backlash and some other fun stuff. But I'm like, juice was not worth the squeeze. It was.
Yeah.
But anyway, just thought it was funny.
So speaking of bands, we just had a new band list come out. And the biggest thing was Underworld Breach was banned in Modern, which I think everybody saw that coming. Because they unbanned what was it? They unbanned one of the Moxes, and that was just the combo piece that deck needed to just be oppressive and.
Mox Opal they unbanned recently, right?
Yeah. So.
And that put it over the edge.
Yeah, like when Breach first came out, there was people brewing this deck, and so they ended up banning the Mox Opal. I think it was a Mox Opal, and so they kind of shut it off, and then they unbanned the Mox, and people were just like, all right, we're doing it, and yeah, I think it just took one tournament, I think, for this to happen, and people, yeah, it was very, very oppressive. Underworld Breach, ended up winning the tournament, and the rest is history. It's banned now, and I don't know. Yeah,
I don't even know what's going on in those old formats because it's funny because back in the day, I used to be like Type 1. It's like, who the heck plays that? And then it was like Legacy, played it for a while. Then eventually it was like, who the heck plays that? Now it's like Modern. I'm like, who the heck plays that? Like every time they bring it up, I'm like, what's even going on, man?
Yeah.
Last time I looked at actual Legacy, I thought it looked more fair than Modern. Actually, I was like, you're just playing like an adventure guy and like a couple like cards. Like they're playing like it's like a bunch of weird cards. Like they're playing Caves of Chaos Adventure and Fourth Earlingus and stuff like that. Like just beating people down with Cavern of Souls. I'm like, I expected to see a bunch of Ponders, Brainstorms, like maybe not Ponder, Force of Will. When they hand me the deck, the guys like notorious for Mono Blue. I'm like, what has happened? We're just beating down now? Okay, we're just beating down. So
I did see something. I think it was Saffron Olive. He brought up old post. He was looking for like the history of the Felidar Sovereign banning. So that Saheeli cat combo.
Not Felidar Guardian.
Felidar Guardian. Yeah. So apparently people had Wizards did a banned announcement and didn't ban it, and people were sending pizzas to the Wizards of the Coast offices that said, "Please ban Felidar." What is it, Felidar Guardian?
Yeah.
on the box, the pizza box and stuff. It was kind of funny. So
I do recall that like story going around. If that happened, that's amazing.
Yeah, there was pictures of it. But yeah, I thought
it was that was a weird time. That was awkward.
Yeah.
That was Magic has gone through some. Just if you just told the story of Magic, it'd just be like, so this game happened. It's pretty cool. People don't know what they're doing. And then it's like, people have started to figure out what they are doing. Okay. They're starting to figure out more. We made some questionable choices. The game is fun and not fun. All right. Urza's nuclear weapon. Fix that crap. All right, go back. We're doing good. So
Affinity.
let's do it. Artifacts again. Yep.
Artifact
And
lands.
then it's like after that, it's like in both after both of these times, Magic's gone through like the biggest renaissance ever. Like, well, it always started with a bad one, right? So it's like masks, oof. And then it's like invasion block through Odyssey, through Onslaught, some of the best sets of all time.
Yeah.
Mirrodin. Uh-oh. Which is only part of it, actually. It wasn't really till Darksteel, I think, where it became a problem.
Yeah.
And then, so they had that nightmare. Then it's like Kamigawa, which was beloved and behated. But I don't even know if that's a word. I hear it sometimes. Not loved. And then it's like, after Kamigawa, Ravnica
Ravnica.
1, all the way to like, I don't even know. They were on a
Z-
huge stretch.
Zendikar.
Like, I guess you can argue that Lorwyn had the fairies problem, but
Oh,
we all
true.
played
Yeah.
during that
Yeah.
time, and there was a lot of popularity for different archetypes at that time. Like, we all
Yeah.
kind of knew fairies was the boogeyman, and they could have been Bitter Blossom probably sooner, but people were still enjoying playing Magic, I felt like. But
It
fairies are
was
definitely a problem.
it was Callblade with Jace the Mind Sculptor was like the
Yeah, that
biggest
was when the
problem.
next nuke happened. That was like the third impact.
Yeah. The Sword of Feast
And
and Famine and yeah.
yeah, and Stoneforge and Batterskull. That was
Yeah.
like New Fire Exia was the next impact. And then
Yeah.
again, what's after that? Isn't that Innistrad 1?
Yep.
And it's like greatest all the way to cons, like some of the greatest formats of all time. And then I think it's like not till like something a little after that where we hit the nuke and it's like Avishkar 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Kaladesh, whatever you I don't know.
Yeah, I
Actually.
think it was the Sahili combo.
Yeah, then it happens again. And then the cycle started heating up when they're like uh, Wilds of Eldraine, where it's like, uh-oh, we're getting crazy, and then the crazy button won't come off, and then I don't know even where we are anymore.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we're in everything's kind of like, I don't even know. I don't play
Every
Standard anymore. I play Commander.
everything's crazy town now.
Yeah, it's like COVID happens, so like I don't even know what happened after that. Like Scramble versus Commanders the whole game now, I guess.
Now it's SpongeBob and Deadpool. So
Yeah, I don't even. We have gone crazy, so
yeah.
I don't know.
So I opened all my SpongeBob secret layers. I got one of each, and I got all command towers. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
didn't hit the lottery there. The Smothering Tithe I think is the most sought after one, and then we got the
Did you
Dismember,
get
which
foils?
yeah, I got foils. Yeah.
It was just the Smothering Tide Mr. Krabs. That was the only one, right?
No,
That
it
was
was
the only
just
special card?
Dismember. So Smothering Tithe with Mr.
Or
Krabs on it,
Dismember.
and yeah, a Dismember or Command Tower. So those were the three
Oh, okay.
options. Yeah.
But Command Tower is the most, and then
Yeah,
the other two were.
Command Tower is the common, and then I think Smothering Tithe is the most rare, and then Dismember is up there
Cool.
too. So
And 3 rarities now.
yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, like
Yep.
I like I like the extra cards that you get, but I don't like the like lottery system. You know, the try your luck. Yeah,
I don't either, but holding on to the sealed product, it makes you feel better. If you like,
yeah,
if you get them, like it's like, ooh, maybe there's the one you want in here,
yeah.
and then
I
so the values. But for
yeah
like a collector, it's like, man, you mean I bought the layer and I'm getting punished because I can't get the other card I want? Yeah, I hear
yeah
you.
yeah
But
yeah. People
I don't know,
always
they waffle on that all the time too, which sucks because if it was just like always going to be an RNG, cool. Never going to be
yeah
an RNG, so it's like I don't know. When am I going to get the RNG? You know, it's like
yeah. Or is it going to be a random zombie reprint?
right.
You know, so oh
And these
well.
always clash so bad. I wish they wouldn't clash. Like it's like why is the zombie? I have these like cute little baby arts.
Yeah,
Flesh Bag Marauder. I literally saw my friend who collected the most recent ones like the pop arts with Thalia, and then
yeah.
it's just like and a flesh bag. Like ugh.
Yeah,
Like you're
I opened all the lore when lands, and then there's Nekizar. So
yeah. Like what are you doing, dog?
yeah.
Living here. So funny. But yeah. So
Oh
things are
well,
cool.
yeah,
Magic's good.
yep. So had a great time at the pre-release this weekend. Like if you haven't checked out Tarkir, go find a draft or some place where you can go play. It's a super fun format. Get on arena, play. Um, you know, it's great. I love it. Super fun set. Super fun limited. Play Mardu. That's my suggestion.
Play Mardu.
Mobilize is crazy.
Mobilize.
So, yeah, but so yeah, that's all
The
I've got for
wings of the
today.
dragon. The speed.
Don't forget, yeah, I'm going to be playing that Mardu Commander deck on Benji the Brewer stream on the 14th, and also on the 28th too. So twice. I got the cards that I needed for it. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But other than that, Nick, you got anything else?
I'm just hoping I'll find time to build that Narset and that Narset commander, the
Oh
one
yeah,
with the dragon.
Narset
I want
and
to build that.
Shiko and Narset.
Shiko, yeah. I want to build
Yeah,
that and get some games in. I actually picked up my cards this weekend and was like working on my deck, so next time I play
yeah,
commander this weekend, I'm ready.
yeah. So look at the spin down's pretty
Ooh.
cool. So this is a one from Jeskai. It's red, white, like speckled dye, and then the uh, writing is supposed to be blue. So
Nice.
I traded for that because I had a bunch of Mardu ones. So trying to collect all of them, but the spin downs are cool because they, coincided with the clan that you picked. But
Dope.
yeah,
Dope.
all right,
Cool.
yeah. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Nick and I will see you next time.